Steelers Nation, what's up? We're back with another exclusive update straight from training camp in Latrobe, and trust me, you're going to want to hear this one. The Pittsburgh Steelers are leaving no stone unturned in their quest to bring another Lombardi trophy back to the Steel City. The organization has made it clear through bold trades and veteran acquisitions that 2025 isn't just another rebuilding Yaritz, Super Bowl, or bust. So, if you're loving this kind of deep dive content from the heart of Steelers territory, smash that like button to support the channel. And let's dive right into today's major headlines. Let's start with the rough stuff first. While most of the roster was out under the blazing St. Vincent College sun, two key offensive players were noticeably absent for the second day in a row: running back Cordarrelle Patterson and tight end Jonnu Smith. Head coach Mike Tomlin confirmed after practice that both players are day-to-day with undisclosed injuries. That's right, undisclosed. Not exactly what fans want to hear, especially so early in camp when competition is heating up and padded. Practices are right around the corner. Cordarrelle Patterson hasn't been seen on the field at all yet. The 33-year-old veteran is entering his second season in Pittsburgh and was expected to battle it out with Kenneth Gainwell and Trey Sermon for a key backup spot behind Jaylen Warren. While Patterson's versatility as a returner and offensive weapon gives him a leg up, this early absence could derail any momentum he hoped to build. As for Jonnu Smith, the tight end acquired in the blockbuster trade that sent Minkah Fitzpatrick to Miami, that tradee's at least been present but only participated in light stretching and individual work. Not ideal when you consider the Steelers are counting on him to be a major chess piece in Arthur Smith's offense this year, lining up not just as a tight end, but also as a fullback and occasional slot receiver. For now, the team isn't sounding the alarms, but you can bet fans are watching closely. While literal thunderstorms threatened the area, the real heat was coming from the practice field. With the team still in the ramp-up phase, Day 3 looms large as the Steelers inch closer to their first padded practice on Tuesday, July 29th. But even in helmets and shorts, something is already starting to click, and that brings us to the more encouraging news after Friday's practice. Mike Tomlin broke character just enough to drop a subtle bomb that should fire up Steelers Nation. When asked about how Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf looked connecting on the field, Tomlin didn't hesitate. That's what I anticipated. I'm not going to throw a pep rally. That's what I expected and envisioned all summer, he said. With a smile now, if you know Tomlin, you know he doesn't hand out praise easily. So even that small crack in the stoic armor says a lot. And really, why wouldn't he be hyped? Aaron Rodgers, the four-time MVP, comes into this season with everything to prove after an injury-plagued 2024 campaign. DK Metcalf, fresh off his third 1,000-yard season and 48 career touchdowns, adds a level of physicality and explosiveness Pittsburgh hasn't seen since peak Antonio Brown. This pairing was designed to carry the Steelers into the playoffs, and beyond Rodgers is the surgeon. Metcalf is the sledgehammer. And when you hear your head coach say, "That's what I envisioned all summer," you know the plan is already coming to life. Let's not forget, this entire offseason has been very Steelers-like. We single quotes re-talking about a team that aggressively traded for DK Metcalf, gave up franchise cornerstone Minkah Fitzpatrick, and let go of George Pickens in a stunning move that signaled a cultural reset on offense. And then there's the Rodgers-Della move, months in the making, that finally gave Pittsburgh a veteran quarterback capable of commanding the field and pushing the ball downfield in ways Russell Wilson and Justin Fields couldn't last season. Add in the TJ Watt extension, Jalen Ramsey trade, and a complete rework of the offensive line, and it's crystal clear this team is not playing for 2027. They're going for it now, but with all that boldness comes immense pressure. Mike Tomlin might have the trust of ownership and fans for now 183 wins, 12 playoff appearances, and 0 losing seasons will do that, but no one in Pittsburgh is interested in moral victories. This roster is designed to win in 2025, period. And if Rodgers does retire after this season, as he's hinted, this could be the only shot with this core. So while training camp optimism is flowing, the reality is this team has a very small window. There are still massive questions. Can the offensive line protect Rodgers consistently? Will the new-look defense gel quickly, especially with Ramsey likely playing a hybrid safety role? Can Freiermuth and Jonnu Smith stay healthy and dominate as a Tay duo? And what happens if Rodgers doesn't make it through the season? These aren't small concerns. They're season-defining. Let's be clear. The Steelers' organization is doing everything it can to improve in 2025. After a chaotic QB carousel, in recent seasons, the front office made sweeping moves to stabilize and upgrade the most important position in football. The big splash, of course, was signing Aaron Rodgers. The future Hall of Famer brings immediate credibility, elite experience, and hopefully, a shot at making a real playoff run this year. But what flew under the radar on draft weekend might just be the move that shapes the long-term outlook at quarterback. The selection of Ohio State's Will Howard. At the time, it looked like a low-risk depth pick. But fast forward to the middle of training camp, and the picture is starting to look very different. Howard just took third-team reps in the 7-shots drill, a sign that he's already leapfrogged Skylar Thompson, and possibly making a push to be next in line after Mason Rudolph. Let's rewind for a second. When the Steelers drafted Will Howard, a lot of fans saw him as a project. He had the physical tools, sure, a strong arm, good size, underrated athleticism, but the knock on him was inconsistency in college and limited experience against top-tier defenses. Yet here we are, barely into training camp, and Howard is already being trusted with more responsibility. While he's still not threatening Rodgers or Rudolph for playing time this season, his early reps suggest the Steelers' coaching staff sees potential and maybe more than they expected. We also can't ignore the influence of Rodgers here. Multiple players have said Rodgers has been incredibly generous with his time, working with the younger QBs, breaking down film, and even mentoring Howard directly. That's the kind of opportunity you can't simulate learning daily from one of the greatest to ever do it. Howard himself told reporters that Rodgers has already helped him adjust to the mental demands of the NFL, and that the pace of learning has skyrocketed compared to college. The backup battle is Mason Rudolph, locked in. Now, as far as the depth chart goes, Aaron Rodgers is QB1. No debate. The Steelers will go as far as his arm, health, and leadership can take them in 2025. But QB2? That's where things get interesting. Mason Rudolph rejoined the Steelers this offseason after a brief stint in Tennessee, and by all accounts, he's looked sharp. He knows the system. He's a locker room guy. And more importantly, he's battle-tested. But you have to wonder, is Rudolph just a placeholder, or is he truly the next man up? Because if Howard keeps trending upward, Pittsburgh might decide it's more valuable to develop him aggressively this season rather than burying him behind two vets. Let's not forget, Rudolph is on a 1-year deal. Same with Rodgers. The only QB under team control beyond 2025 is Will Howard. That alone should tell you how important his development is to the franchise. The quiet cut. What happens to Skylar Thompson? And what about Skylar Thompson? The veteran backup was brought in this offseason and expected to be the emergency option. But with Howard now running with the third unit, Thompson's roster spot could quietly be in jeopardy. Unless he makes a big push in preseason, he may be relegated to the practice squad or let go entirely, especially if the Steelers decide to carry only 3 quarterbacks into the season. Keep an eye on how reps are distributed in the coming days. It'll speak volumes about where each QB truly stands. Rodgers' mentorship may be more valuable than his arm while, we all hope. Aaron Rodgers stays healthy and balls out in 2025. Let's be honest, the mentorship role he's playing could be just as valuable in the long term. Rodgers has hinted that this might be his final year. He said he's enjoying Pittsburgh more than expected, and the team has rolled out the red carpet. Could he stay another year if things go well? Possibly. But even if he doesn't, his legacy might live on through Howard. Imagine a scenario where Rodgers plays one season, the Steelers make a deep playoff run, and Howard is fully groomed to take over in 2026. That's a dream scenario for the front office and the fans. Now let's be real. It's way too early to anoint Will Howard the quarterback of the future. He hasn't played a single NFL snap. He hasn't even played in a preseason game. But what we can say is that the early signs are encouraging. He's getting reps, he's impressing coaches, and he's taking advantage of every learning opportunity he gets. That's all you can ask from a let-round rookie in his first training camp. The Steelers' front office is already looking toward the 2026 quarterback draft class, so clearly they're keeping their options open. But if Howard continues to rise, it could shift their entire strategy. If Pittsburgh finishes with a winning record this year and they're not drafting in the top 10, Howard might be the most realistic internal option for 2026. Steelers fans, this is where we stand. It's a key offensive veterans. Patterson and Jonnu Smith are already dealing with injury concerns. That's not the start we wanted. But at the same time, we're finally seeing the vision come to life between Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf. Tomlin is cool, calm, and confident. The pieces are in place. The goals are clear. But everything has to break just right if this team wants to lift a Lombardi in February. So I want to hear from you, Steelers Nation. Are you concerned about these early injuries? Do you think the Rodgers-Metcalf connection is enough to push this team into the Super Bowl picture? And what's your take on how the front office is handling this win-now window? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Drop your takes, your predictions, and your expectations for this season. And hey, if you appreciated the insight today, hit that like button to support the channel, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another Steelers update as we roll through camp. We'll be back soon with more exclusive news from Latrobe. Until next time, here we go, Steelers.